Once again live. This is I'm quite excited and in the same way a little bit sad because this is our not last but the previous of last presentations of our conference. It was an amazing time with every one of you, and now I have the pleasure to welcome Alexander Kerezov. Hi, Alex.
Hey.
He's a sales performance consultant for SBR Consulting, and I think it will be a very fresh twist now when we just switch from talking about industrial automation, digitization processes to now moving into a very important topic of success of a company, and that's how the company is acquiring clients, selling, and of course sales departments are a vital part of digital transformation. And of course, there are lots of tools at their disposal that needs to be utilized and of course streamlined in a very seamless way. So Alex, thank you for joining us. The importance of leverage digital sales tools for revenue acceleration. Very interesting title. Looking forward to hear your presentation. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you for that good presentation. Let me just share my screen really quick.
I will be hiding myself from stage so that the floor is fully yours. I will be hearing and seeing what you're telling us, and then shortly before the end of your presentation, I will be back to have some questions with you.
Awesome.
Just let me verify that we are seeing what you're sharing with us. Are you with two screens?
No.
Ah, okay.
It's loading.
Ah, it's just loading. Okay. We had for a conference that is about digital transformation, and it's online. We had a couple of technical difficulties along the way on those 2 days, but it's really normal. I'm really happy that no one from the speakers actually forgot about the conference, because we had such use cases in previous conferences throughout the years. But yeah, it's really nice to have you all here.
Trying to share the screen, but it's just loading right now for some reason.
Okay.
Let's see.
Are you using Chrome?
No, Brave.
Oh, well. Maybe that's the issue. Do you have Chrome?
I do have Chrome. You want me to jump to Chrome?
Yeah, please jump on that, because I think the platform that we're using is quite, favorable when you're using Chrome. So it will be great. Just skip on that, come back from Chrome.
All right, well, I'll join you in a second.
Great. So while I'm alone here, I can sing you a song or tell you a joke, or just say once again how thankful I am for those 2 days. What we're going to cover at the last presentation is also something very important for digitizing the manufacturing and asset-intensive industries. But as we heard previously on the first day, it's something that touches on the first level of digitization. And it's really something tangible that we're going to see and to hear from Vesela Malinovska. But now I think we have Alex again back on stage. Here we are.
Here we are. Sharing screen right now. Still loading.
I have a backup plan. I can share it for you.
Yeah, that's weird. The window is showing on my share tab, but then it just loading.
Do you have like a small button or something to share a window or share something? Because sometimes it's really... Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know if it's on my part.
I will try also to check out if we can share the presentation as well. Maybe now if I see, no, it's not because of the file. I can open the file. Do you like me to assist on that?
Yeah, that would be okay. If you can share the
Just a
screen.
sec. I will try to see how I can. Okay, share. All right. So perfect. Share screen. No, как да го видя вече? Okay, we have the screen shared, right? Do you see it?
Yes, I can see it. I hope everyone else can.
Just a sec. I need to check that. Okay, we are presenting. Perfect. Once again, I maybe need to not hide from stage. I will just verify that with my colleague.
All right.
We can start.
All right. Can we just put it on full screen?
Just a sec.
Yep.
Are you
Perfect.
seeing it now?
Yes, I am.
Great.
Thank you. Well, thank you for the introduction, Ivan. Sorry for the delay. I hope it wasn't on my part, but uh, I had the chance actually to see a few of the sessions because these today, yesterday, and today we had our global summit of SBR here in Prague. So I wasn't able to join, but on the evening I caught up on some of the sessions, and the things I was hearing were pretty cool. I mean, I really
Thank
love
you.
hearing about the client journey. I really love about hearing the systems that are needed, and I think what I'm gonna talk today is gonna be very similar to that. So it's not gonna be something unfamiliar, but thinking about how to prepare for this part and what can bring value to the audience. I'm gonna share just our experience of what we see working with our clients.
Perfect.
Yeah, I will just talk about where we started, how we developed, and why we are right now. What is the reason why we ended up in the position we are right now to build those systems and to get support for our clients. If we can go to the next slide, I think it just also it's important to know who we are. Some people may know us, but some may not know us, and why what we say is important, and why what we say is actually true. Why we are a credible company. SBR is actually part of the Southwestern family of companies. Southwestern, it's the one up there, Southwestern Advantage. This is the oldest direct selling company in the world. It was in 1855, and from there they developed their sales systems by practice, and now on the family of companies we have 19 different companies in all different sectors. We have four insurance companies, we have travel company, we have fundraising companies, tax services, financial services, consulting, and everything else. But on the next slide,
Family.
what
Just
was
a
that?
second. Next slide.
Yep, this one. But this is more about SBR. SBR was founded in London 2002. And we started with just servicing the European market, but now we work all over the world. We work with over 800 clients, and we have thousands and thousands of different projects in all different areas. We started as a training company, as a coaching company, and now we're a global consultancy that focuses on growth and revenue acceleration. We work with salespeople, we work with sales managers, we work on with all stakeholders of a company in order to achieve sales transformation. That is our final goal, and sales transformation equals revenue acceleration, revenue growth. We work in all different areas, but if we can just go ahead on the next slide. Basically, this is what sums up how we support our company. This is our simple version of how we support. we call it the habits triangle, the one on the left.
Mm-hmm.
From salesperson points of view, there are three things needed in order to have sales effectiveness. First is skills, second is sales motivation, and the third is having the right systems.
Sure.
And let's say, for example, and we see that every day working with clients. If we have a salesperson that is very high skilled, very experienced, that has the right system set up in his company to be successful, but if he is not motivated to, for some reason, to get the job done, there's going to be no activity. Top of the funnel activity will be, the numbers will be very low. On the other hand, if we have a new salesperson, a rookie, he'll be very experienced. The systems may be in place, but he doesn't have the skills yet. So it doesn't mean he's going to fail, but it means that there will not be sales effectiveness for a while until he develops those skills. So what it means that 2 out of 3 do not work. And I'm not saying we should be all perfect in all three, but what I'm saying is that we should be decent on the three on all three. Some of us are better in skills, some of us are more organized and they're better in systems. Some of us are naturally more positive and pumped up, and we're better on sales motivation. But right now, we're going to focus, for the purpose of this talk, we're going to focus on the systems part.
Great.
A quote,
Next slide.
no, just to finish up with the quote.
Okay.
The one I've put on the right is William Deming. I don't know if you guys are familiar with William Deming, but he's the guy that rebuilt the Japanese economy after World War II. Um, and we have a quote that we also often talk about in our team meetings, that without data, you're just another person with opinion. So we're trying to move, and we're trying to move our clients toward data-based decisions and data-based client interactions.
Yeah.
So next slide is what pretty much explains where we were and what we're trying to achieve. The bottom, where it says sales effectiveness and execution,
Yeah.
this is where we started as a company 20 years ago. We did some training, we did some coaching, and but what we realized that a lot of the companies we work with were lacking the enablement factors that will help in order to have sales effectiveness. In other words, saying if you train somebody, you gotta train him against certain skills, certain criteria that matches their company, their situation, and most importantly, their clients.
Yeah.
Now, the one above, let's start with the key marketing, key account strategy. And it pretty much is just talking about not only looking at the opportunity level, but also looking at the account level, what's going on. How do we expand, land and expand our customers? How do we effectively do cross-sell and upsell? How do we work as a team? How do we have a structure as a team that we have a saying, the teams win deals. I think it's getting more and more popular that the lone wolf type of salesperson goes by himself to win deals. It's left in the previous decade. The future of business is collaborative selling and collaborative approach to not only to clients but inside of the company as well. So this is key account strategies. How do you segment your client base? What criteria do you choose? Importance of not only looking at how much revenue your client is spending right now with you, but also what is the potential to spend, and also how do you measure that potential.
Yeah.
These are all topics that we discuss with our systems that we develop. But in order to have that, if we move to the left, we have the sales tools and tech. So we need the data to support that. We need the data to help us and discover those, as we call it, white spaces within those accounts, within those plans. What are they using right now from us? What they can be using? Are they using a competition? What is the reason? Who should we engage with? And what is most importantly, the data that gives us that. Now, talking about data, It's all data, data, data. But when it comes down to strategy, one of the definitions for strategy is knowing what not to do.
Yeah.
Meaning that you may have all the data in the world, but if you cannot prioritize what you should be looking at right now, and if you cannot analyze and interpret and give insight to your customers, uh, it's just gonna be, there's gonna be no effectiveness at all. So this is where the CRM and automation comes in. This is where you start building your sales process. The one on the top is sales process. But something very important before we build and enhance the sales process of our clients, we first look at the buying process. We call it the buying cycle of our clients. It's a cycle because once the sale is done, another need is being developed somewhere in his head without him even knowing it. So what is the sales process? What is the sales methodology? So in other words, the sales process is what we need to do, and then the methodology is how we do it. And looking on the right, we have the people. So values and behaviors. What is the team structure? What are the competencies? How do we lead and how do we motivate those salespeople? How do you onboard them? How do you recruit them? How do you compensate them? What is the motivating bonus system? Often we work with companies that are not salespeople. We work with a lot of professional services companies, IT companies, institutional investment companies. That the people are just didn't sign up to be salespeople, but at one level they have to. They have to, and it can be quite frustrating for them. So it's actually worth asking the question of, before we train those people, is it worth talking of, worth having a conversation of, okay, should we give all that process to one person, or isn't it time to break it down and maybe bring in SDRs, AEs, BDRs, and other people? And most importantly, what are the competencies for those people for that role in order for them to be successful? From competency, one of the things we do is a competency framework for each specific role. From there, you can recruit more successfully. You can score those people more successfully, and you can develop those salespeople more successfully because they know what is expected of them. There is big confusion to what is expected of me as a professional. Let's say as an auditor, um, as a developer, account manager, but this brings more clarity to it. Again, and then top left we have the value proposition, the sector proposition. How do we segment our market? You'll be surprised, but oftentimes people have different definitions to what is our corporate proposition, what is our value proposition.
We
Of course,
spoke about that a little, previously.
yeah. And you go into a company and you see there's top producers, and then there's new people, and there are people in the middle, and the management is always asking, how can we bring the other people up there? While often the answer is, you don't bring the other people up. You bring the knowledge of the people up, and you bring it down to the other people in a way of systems. You codify the process based on the experience of the company. You codify the best practices and the successful practices. The systems we build, we don't go with a product that is ready to roll. We go there and we extract the knowledge of what is supposed to be there. So in order to have effectiveness, we need to think about structure, process, people, tools, and tech as well. Now, a lot of people invest in a lot of tools, and that is great. But sometimes they hope that the tool itself is going to help them define their sales processes. The tool is going to help them. Is going to solve their problems. without thinking about proactively about the strategy um, before that. If you can go to the next slide, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, this is the sales maturity model, and I believe that embedding a CRM and data to support sales activity, embedding different great tools like Epsta, Gong, SalesLoft. It's important to why you embed it, but it's also very important when do you embed it and how do you embed it, of course. Timing, I believe it's very important. If you do it too late, it's gonna be a big mess.
Yeah.
We are not experts on integrating those systems, so I'm not gonna go deeper into the different programs. That's why we have partners when it comes down to HubSpot integrations, to Salesforce integration. I think my colleague Danny actually spoke with you a while ago about one
We
of
have
their.
a project together. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very, we are not going to try to be all things to all people. That's why we work with partners that know what they're doing, and we know what we're doing. But basically, at some point, if the company wants to scale and if they don't have those systems properly set up, scaling would just be impossible.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we had a meeting with our chief operating officer from America, and she said something really cool that as a company, you can grow as much as your systems allow you to grow. So, yeah, that,
It is like in football, right? You are playing so good as the other part allows you.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is. So it's important also to think that, think about strategy, think about tools, but most important, think about them as something that works together and they work hand in hand. And then the last topic I wanted to touch on a little bit, so if you can go to the next slide, is sometimes clients, yes, this one, clients ask us, how do we build our tech stack? And you guys are experts on this, but I'm just going to show observations from what we see. Um,
Should I scroll down? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you can just click it 2 more times. Yep. First, they have to ask themselves the question: what kind of data points do you need the most? We had an interesting conversation with our partners from Epsta. We work on them on a global, not on a local level, and that's what they told us. Basically, you need to measure intent. So, who are the people out in the market looking for your product? I heard it's very hot in the marketing area right now. It basically tracks Google searches, like you can buy all that data, and you can catch very early in the buying process
Hmm.
your prospects. Then we need to measure engagement, how engaged are our prospects in the sales process, and how much resources we should invest at that point in order to win that deal, or should we focus to more promising prospects. And then we need to measure usage, because our customers will not keep paying for our products if our teams do not use them. And again, it's a loop of all of this. But if I have to summarize the whole deal, at the heart of what I'm talking about and what we do in SBR and what we're trying to convey to our clients, it's let's put the client in the center, and after that, let's build the ecosystem around him. Let's think about what the clients want to see, what is his need. Let's segment our market first. Who are our prospects? What is our ideal client profile? What are their challenges? Because HubSpot may automate your processes, but before that, you got to think what kind of blogs my clients want to see, what kind of events they want to attend.
Yeah.
So just a deeper understanding of the client's needs, issues, and understanding also the consequences if they do not take action against them.
Great. Well, thank you. That was the end of presentation, right?
Yes, that's the end.
Okay, good. Now I'm stopping the screen sharing. Well, it's you touched upon some interesting stuff, and I will catch up on the moment where you said that when it comes to enabling sales teams, and we talk here especially about sales teams, but what you're showing us as a framework, it can be applied to, all the revenue operations teams that are within a company. I mean, marketing and customer success, but those who are, yeah, and I was really, I noted this lonely sales wolf. Um, uh, uh, Actually, sadly for us, where we work together in this world where we want to bring more knowledge and enable and empower client-facing teams, we see still lots of lonely wolves out there that are just saying stuff like, "Okay, I'm just good at sales. Leave me alone. I'm good at talking to people, finding people. I hate CRMs because this is, some administrative work that I need to fill out." And so, and I think slowly those guys are really living in the past, or they will be left in the past. But I think now is the time of change, where we need really to push. And what is also important to stress out from your presentation is that, yes, technologies are there. Normally, when a customer or a client is starting his journey of finding the solution of its core problem, and of course, the core problem is normally, I don't make enough revenue. I see the competition, it's really booming, and you have like the direct competitor is making an amazing turnover, hiring people, expanding and stuff, and I need to do something. And it's always the pressure when it comes to B2B companies, it's always the pressure about the sales team, on the sales team. And then you're starting to try to find solution. And it's interesting. This journey comes to different ways. So the owner of the business can say, okay, I need to raise the salaries. Maybe my sales reps are just not happy with what they get, or commission based sales, and I need to raise the percentage. Or otherwise we need to say, okay guys, you're using a bunch of unnecessary tools, we need to change them, or you're not using tools at all. And this is interesting that when it comes to the company that implements such solutions like Limacon and working with HubSpot for implementing the platform, eventually we're ending up with also having the conversation with the client about consulting him how to structure his sales process, which is not the core of our business service. And actually, this is a very good collaboration when we have companies like SBR that are actually coming before our engagement, because it's pretty easy for partners of HubSpot to implement HubSpot already in a created structure, already in an aligned process that was consulted with experts for like SBR, and then we can do our job because the client already knows what he wants. And this is the ideal scenario, which happens very, very rare. But I think we guys just need to if someone comes to us for consulting, we say, guys, go there and find SBR and do the things that they need to do. And then, of course, you guys, when you are ready, and then you can say, go out there and use HubSpot or Salesforce or other tools. And there are lots of companies that can help you with the technical implementation, which is something different from strategic approach. But when you're talking about the client, and I just want you to elaborate a little bit to that, we have the other part of this important process, and this is the employee, the sales guy. How you see the role of digital tools when it comes to empowering salespeople in order to be better in their daily work, and what are, let's say, the most used tools that you can name, not like a brands like HubSpot, but then you can say, guys, we see that these three things, these three tools are really now on the market and they're helping salespeople.
Yes, I can answer that question because I'm not only a consultant, but we're also active salespeople. We close all of our deals, and we use all the systems we recommend to our
Yeah.
clients. So
You need to live it, so in order to preach it, right?
absolutely, you got to practice what you preach.
Yeah.
So absolutely crucial. And I would just want to say one thing about CRM. Organizations that do not are not effective with their CRM usage, it's it's a culture most of the times. Um,
It's not because of the tool.
it's not because of definitely not because I mean, yeah, like people in America and all over Europe are using HubSpot, but this exact company doesn't work for them, right? That's never the case. It's
Yeah.
always, and it's often not about not having the resources, not being educated, but it's a culture of it's too much work. And you know what? It's not too much work because
Yeah.
what we have to feel in our stuff, we use a lot more tools that data tracking in SBR than our clients do, and we don't complain because we see the value. So one of the important things in discussions that people should have in their companies, what is the value not only to the management and to the company, but to the salesperson. Like, how can you optimize this tool that you have so it's gonna be useful for the salesperson? Like, let's
Yeah.
say when I go to my CRM, I can see where I'm at with all my activities. Like, not only close deals, but do I prospect like my colleagues in the Czech Republic or okay. Am I
Yeah.
bringing up
Yeah.
what's my forecast? So we all ask what's in it for me, right? And especially salespeople, they ask
Oh
that
yeah.
very often. So yeah, it has to have value for everybody.
Yes, and I think the job of consulting companies and of course companies that are implement is to stress out those advantages when it comes to the daily life of a sales rep. And I think lots of tools are there. My only recommendation here would be, not because I'm a fan of HubSpot, but it will be choose a system that can combine vital processes and that can align you with the other client facing teams, and that can you work within this system seamlessly with the other and collaborate with the other teams, because only on that way you can have the full visibility of the full life cycle of a client, and you can also see can attribute what is actually happening, how marketing has influenced this lead, how sales after that, and of course the service level agreement between the departments can be really monitored and optimized. Well, Alex, it was really pleasure talking to you. I think this topic is something that we're going to cover in a very separate session. I'm inviting almost every speaker here from the conference on a separate LinkedIn Live podcast that I'm going again to. There was a pause here for a couple of months, but I have a LinkedIn podcast and I'm going to start it once again from the next
Perfect.
month. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to gather maybe great minds related to sales enablement and sales acceleration. So thank you so much. Have a great day. You are in Prague now.
Yeah, we are in Prague with the SBR team and the part of the American team. So
Yeah,
nice.
go drink beer, man. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Great event, Ivan.
Yeah.
Congratulations on organizing it.